Hey listeners, the METUS Tech Show will be taking a holiday break for the next 2 weeks, so now's your chance to catch up on some of our past episodes. We would also love to hear from you with any HVAC topics you would like us to cover or something you cooked over the holidays. You can email us at metustechshow@hvac.mea.com or use the Send Us a Text feature on your favorite podcast player. On behalf of the METUS Tech Show gang and all of us at METUS, we want to wish all of our listeners and their families a happy and safe holiday season. Now, back to the METUS Tech Show. The METUS Tech Show.
Welcome to the METUS Tech Show, a show for HVAC professionals by HVAC professionals.
I like how you guys bounce back and forth between heat pump talk and food talk.
The METUS Tech Show.
Mitsubishi.
All right, so Marissa, you flew in early for this Contractor Community Summit.
I did.
So you got a chance to grab some eats
I
in
did.
the area.
Yes.
And you talked about some tacos that you had. So tell us about them.
Okay, so the tacos, I basically for the last all weekend was mainly just eating tacos. One day we took a break and we had some barbecue, which was very great. We went to La Barbecue in Austin. I didn't love the wait that it took. It was around 2.5 hours just to get our food.
Wow.
Almost 2.5 hours, and then we ate in 18 minutes.
No, that 2.5 hours for food, that's criminal.
I know.
Somebody deserves a beating. I'm sorry, that's just wrong.
Yeah, it was, my husband really wanted to have this barbecue experience, so we had to basically do it.
Yes.
But yeah, we had a lot of tacos, a lot of margaritas. One thing that I will actually say I was very impressed with is that I feel like typically frozen margaritas are very syrupy and kind of sweet, but the frozen margaritas in Austin are surprisingly like tart, limey, fresh, crisp. So I did have maybe one too many of those.
So you see what they did?
What?
2.5 hours waiting for the food, you're drinking margaritas. They're getting you smashed, so no matter what, it's going to taste delicious.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
So as far as tacos go, are you more of a street taco, seafood, chorizo? What kind of tacos do you like?
While I've been in Austin, the best tacos have had were street taco style with fresh corn tortillas, which I also did not ever have before coming here. I'm based in Denver, and they're just, the texture is amazing.
It is.
But the carnitas tacos have been fantastic, and then the beef barbacoa ones have been the best. And we went to a place called Suerte, which is kind of more upscale, and they brought out this plate of carnitas meat, and it was crispy, but a little bit chewy and salty. It was just the best. So I would definitely recommend it.
So a little cilantro on those.
Yeah, of course. Cilantro,
Yeah.
onions, little
Yeah.
salsa verde. Fantastic.
So corn tortillas to me are hit and miss. There are good ones and there are bad ones.
Yeah.
So I always end up with the flour tortillas. But I'm a big seafood taco. So like the shrimp wrapped in bacon, they call them Marco Polo tacos. Those are fantastic. I was on a kick for a while, and Paul probably doesn't want to hear this anymore.
Oh, my God.
Birria tacos. I don't know if you've ever had birria tacos.
Yes.
With the consomme.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. It was something. It was on TikTok one day. My kid's like, "Dad, you got to make these." And as I started looking at the recipe, and it's like it requires like 5 different kind of peppers, and you gotta soften them in some hot water, put them in a blender, blend it all up, and make this whole marinade, and then stew the meat in this marinade for like 4 hours. And I'm like, I told my son Mikey, I'm like, looks like a lot of work. So I
You're
went
like, I
looking.
love you for doing this. Just know that.
So I went looking for the peppers, and I could only find 2 of them at the store. And believe it or not, I ended up ordering all the rest of the dried peppers on Amazon, like bags of them. I'm like, oh, this is great. And I followed the whole recipe. It took me all day. And one thing I did is I left the seeds in them, which I'll never do again.
Oh, no, you got to. That's flavor.
Oh, it's
Is it heat
it's
flavor or is it
flavor.
heat?
Both. It's both. I
And
love
I'll
the
tell you,
seeds.
it wasn't terribly hot, but it was just a little uncomfortable. So next time I'm just going to leave the seeds out, and there's plenty of heat in those peppers. But So I was trying to find birria tacos in Georgia. I was everywhere we traveled, Paul. I was trying to find, and he's like, all right, enough with the birria.
No, he was like, it was like weeks on end, every day. Birria tacos, I tried him there. And I had never heard of him, I hadn't seen him. So finally I find a place that has them and I stop in, and they were awful.
Really?
No, they were awful. I said, what the heck is wrong with Steve? Right? And it took me about, because my son Tom, my oldest, was the same thing. He goes, Dad, you got to try these. They're so good. I go, where are you getting them? And it turns out that back home in Central Mass, there's a taco truck called The Taco Dude. And he goes, you got to go there. They're going to be here. And I'd go, they weren't there. Right? It would be some other taco truck, right? So finally, I got this guy, and I spent like $90 on tacos, on these birria tacos, and for the whole family, and I brought them home. And they were the corn tortillas, but they had, I don't know how to explain it. They were crisp and soft at the same time.
Yes.
Yeah, and it was so good. And I'm like, okay, finally, I got the birria experience. But then he, it's all you hear. But it reminded me of my mother. When my mother cooked something, God rest her soul, but when she cooked something, if you liked it, she would cook that every day for the next month until you got sick of it. So, I like to tell stories, but so I had a Dalmatian, Molly, and my mother made these little apple squares, like a little cakey thing with the apples, and and everybody loved them. And so, we ate them. So she made them the next day. We ate them, and then we stopped eating. She kept making them. So every time I walked by them, I would give one to the dog. And she would eat them, and she loved them. And then after a while, I gave one to the dog, and then she literally sniffed it, and then she went, even the dog was sick of them. So that was what Steve. I digress a lot.
I'm over my birria kick.
Yeah, gotta get over.
Yeah.
Well, Jim, we might be getting those tonight. So
Let's do
he
it,
hasn't
so.
had them, so he might be experiencing them. So we'll report back on how those
Yeah,
work.
if
We'll
the
let you know.
tacos, like you said, if the tacos are soft and crunchy, they were done right, because they should be dipped into the birria sauce, thrown on the frying pan or whatever, the griddle, and they crisp it up a little bit. And then when they throw the meat in, it softens up. It's just amazing.
That's not what we had last night. Right?
No, that is not what we had
Right, that
yesterday.
was the opposite.
Picture stewed meat in a taco with like some amazing cheese, and you're dipping it into consomme. It's fantastic.
No, it's definitely delicious. But I was getting a little worried there, because the first two tries were like this. I don't know what Steve's going with.
And you and I went to a restaurant in Georgia, and they were like, "Yeah, that's birria," and I was like, "No, that's not birria.
Yeah,
That's
This isn't TikTok birria.
yeah, exactly."
it's just Taco Bell is what it is. Anyway, welcome everybody to the METUS Tech Show. I'm Paul Shaves. Joining me,
Steve Pimentel.
We are at the Contractor Community Summit for diamond contractors. We are in Austin, Texas. So if you hear the background noise, that's what it is. Joining us today are Jim and Marissa from DiversiTech. Marissa, ladies first. Tell us a little bit about what you do for the DiversiTech and where, and a little bit about your background, and then we'll go to Jim.
Thanks. I am one of our national account managers. I am based in Denver, Colorado, and I cover all of the products within DiversiTech. So we have 7 product families. I came from the Fresh Air UV acquisition that was made in 2021, so that's kind of my background. And I've been in the HVAC industry for almost 12 years now.
Wow. So you started very young.
I did.
12.
I did. Yeah.
Jim?
Yes. Well, I've been in the industry a little more than 30 years now. I came from Lennox International on the product development engineering side. I am the product line manager for equipment mounting for DiversiTech. Been there for 10 years now, and have responsibility for that product line.
All right. Great. And you guys are here, you have a table here or a booth or a display booth, and what kind of products are you showcasing over there?
Yeah, we're showcasing the some of our most popular products, a wall bracket for mini splits, as well as a floor-mounted stand.
Yep.
We have a number of those, and we're showcasing that, as well as some of our new products, some rubber feet that is used for mounting multiple sizes of mini splits as well.
All right, so those stands, those are the quick sling stands that some of our contractors may be familiar with.
Yes.
So we basically, the whole purpose of that, for those who don't know, I think most people listening know, but heat pumps go into defrost when they're in the heat mode. So we want to get that outdoor unit up off the ground. That's very important. We never want them sitting on a flat surface. So the quick sling stands. Can't say that fast. What are the different heights that we can adjust to? Do you know all the heights?
Yes. The typical heights they come in 12 or 18 or 24 inches tall. And so typically up in the New England areas, the snow belt, you'll see the most popular is the 18-inch stands. Maybe up in Michigan and some of the Great Lakes areas, you'll get up to 24 inches that's required. But we're seeing that the 12-inch is becoming more and more popular in the South as well, because I think people are realizing that it's not really just for snow anymore. It gets the unit off the ground, easier to work on, easier to install. It keeps the grass and the dirt and everything from clogging up the coil. So there's benefits, no matter, where you're
And I think getting it off the ground is important. And what about the wall brackets? When might somebody want to use a wall bracket?
Well, wall brackets, we have a very large range of wall brackets because there's so many different installations and different application scenarios. The wall brackets, if you have a house that's on a grade and you can't really put a stand, wall brackets really good for that type of application. We do have some foundation-mounted wall brackets where if you're worried about the vibration going through the wall, there's a bracket that gets you away from the wall as well as the height that you need, but you secure it into the foundation, the concrete foundation, which eliminates a lot of that potential vibration through the house.
That's great, because that's a big concern with contractors with other types of stands where they get a lot of vibration into the building. So having that isolation on there is great. One thing I noticed is that you have an air handler stand. I just found this out yesterday because I had one of my instructors that said, hey, can we get one of these for our training center to put the air handler? When would we use that?
Yeah, there's a number of different versions of those as well. We have horizontal air handler stands. We have vertical air handler stands for closet or garage type applications. We also have the original quick sling, which is a two U-shaped bars that attach to the joist up in an attic and allows you to cradle a horizontal
That's fantastic.
air handler.
I could have used that a lot.
Yeah.
I've got it in my house, and it looks great. All the techs come in and just say, that's a nice looking install.
Now, can you put a auxiliary drain pan into it?
It has the hooks there it doesn't come with the drain pan, but it has the hooks that you can install a secondary drain pan on there as well.
How about noise isolation or vibration isolation on that?
Yeah, there's some options there. There's some anti-vibration pads that come along with it that you can use, and there's also some anti-vibration hooks that you would hang it, similar to some seismic type of restraints.
Right. And you also have pads as well for condensing units.
Yep, we do. We're the largest pad supplier in the country. We've been selling pads for about 50 years.
Now, is that foam construction?
We have a number of different styles. We have the plastic composite material pads. We also have a line of concrete pads as well. We have the concrete slabs, lightweight concrete slabs.
Lightweight, yeah.
And then we have the ultralight, which is a lightweight concrete. It's as lightweight as a plastic pad, but you get the look and the feel of a concrete pad, which is very popular.
Excellent.
We'll be right back.
Hey, listeners, if you like the METUS Tech Show, you should check out our YouTube channel called the METUS Training Network. That's METUS Training Network. Head on over to the METUS Training Network for tons of videos and programming made for HVAC professionals just like you. We've got technical training tips, HVAC program updates, and episodes of our new HVAC talk show called The Comfort Zone. Of course, you also get to catch up on more episodes of the METUS Tech Show as well. Head on over to YouTube and subscribe to the METUS Training Network today. Now, back to the METUS
Tech Show.
Mounting blocks are important. We supply mounting blocks with the Unistrut rail for Unistrut cushion clamps.
Yes.
Right. So that's important. We have them in our training center as well underneath the VRF units, because we come out with the piping underneath the VRF instead of out the front, just to keep people from standing on the pipes. So we come out from underneath and we rest them on those mounting blocks. So those look pretty slick.
Yeah, those are very popular. It's very popular from a noise and vibration isolation because they're made out of recycled rubber, and so it's a fairly heavy base, so a good solid platform to mount all sorts of different products on.
Now, tell me, I'm looking at on your website right now. I'm looking at the quick swivel mount.
Yes.
What is that?
The quick swivel is really one of the most popular quick sling products. It is a very unique way of mounting a unit heater. So a garage heater type of thing, where normally you're using Unistrut and all thread to kind of devise your own mounting system for a unit heater. Well, this allows you to easily attach a component or a part of the bracket to the unit heater, the other part to the ceiling, and you mate it up. And you can swivel it to where you have the airflow where you want it in the piping, and then you lock it in place. And so it just makes for very easy work to install.
That's interesting. So some of these products are not going to be exactly geared for METUS products or mini split products, but our listeners love tools and love gadgets and so this is great.
So I want to go back to the pads for a second, because I've noticed on the website there's a hurricane pad selector. So we do have listeners, in Florida and Louisiana, and even here in Texas. I don't know if we're probably a hurricane area here as well. So tell me about what makes something a hurricane pad.
Sure. Yeah, it kind of, it started out in Florida, where they have a very strict hurricane code. And all of our pads are Florida Building Commission approved now, which means they go through a very rigorous engineering qualification in order to comply with that code. And we're the number one seller of hurricane pads in Florida. And it comes with very specific engineering documentation that you can show to an inspector or what have you, that the product it does conform to the. And there's 3 different codes in Florida. There's the 150 mile an hour, the 175 mile per hour, and also the Miami-Dade, which is a whole nother level of code.
Really? I didn't know.
There's a code there. Yeah. So those old pads that I used to use that were basically styrofoam shaped into a square or a rectangle and then dipped in some liquid concrete type of, those probably don't meet the code.
Some of those, it depends on, it wouldn't meet it in Miami-Dade.
Right.
But in some of the northern Floridas, it could.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So going into your tools, you also offer flaring tools.
We do.
Which is great. Swedging tools, tubing cutters. This is all great for our listeners.
We have a new product, well, newish. It's been out for at least a year. It's from Hillmore. It's called the Line Set Cleaner.
Well, I want to hear about that.
Yeah, that's been growing in popularity a lot. It's one of our top-selling products, especially with a lot of the changeouts coming.
Right.
But essentially what it is, it really we launched this foam pig through the line set to kind of power squeegee through the entire line set. And this foam pig will go through bends and dips and really clean out, instead of having to use an entire can of flush on really every system, which is costly. And then you have your, one of the techs on the other end with a bucket and getting all that stuff out. You launch this pig with nitrogen through the system, and it really kind of squeegees out that system and gets it really clean. And then it'll also help with your evac time as well.
So any debris anything that's left behind, this is going to pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, oil, any type of moisture or debris that's in the system, it cleans it right out.
No, I've never heard of that. That sounds very, very interesting.
Yeah, the part number is HLC007. So if you look at it, it kind of looks like a gun. So I do not travel with that through airport security. They wouldn't really like that. But that's a really great product to check out.
Yeah, that's going to come in handy. We're going through a major transition here into the new year with the refrigerants. So they're going to be using existing line sets on a lot of applications. So that is key.
Oh, I do see that. The line,
Yep.
I can see why. Actually, I can see why it's called the 007 because it
Yeah.
reminds me of the James Bond thing. And I can totally, if you aim that at somebody who's armed, they're going to shoot back. They're
Yes.
not going to wait
Yes.
for you. But so. What kind of pressures are we talking about?
Between 60 to 80 psi.
That's it.
Is what you use the nitrogen through. Yeah.
So I'm thinking you were going to say like 500 or 600.
No, it's just enough to get that foam pig through that line set.
Wow. And so is there a different pig for different
There are.
diameters?
Yeah, so I don't recall off the top of my head there's 5 different attachments that it comes with in the
Okay.
kit. We have a couple different
So it's probably
additions that you
3/8 all the way up through. Yeah, 3/8, half inch, 5/8.
Yeah,
That's
it's
fantastic.
3/8 to 7/8. 3/8,
Okay.
half inch, 5/8, 3/4, 7/8. I'm looking
Yeah.
at it.
all the
right here.
typical.
Yep, and then the same different size pig, so you attach it whatever size that your line set is, and then put that foam pig through, and then there's replacement pigs as well.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, there's nothing else like it really.
I'm gonna have to try it.
Yeah,
at the training center.
Yes.
One of our line sets. I'm curious now. Even though our line sets are kind of small, so it'd be kind of.
No, we
boring,
gotta. You know what we gotta do? We gotta get a line set that's coiled up and see how long it takes to go through.
You can.
Yeah, we have
Or-
that at AHR. So if you go to our booth at AHR, you'll see the demo that is pretty impressive.
Wow,
Or if any of your students in your trainings look like they're falling asleep, you can just
shoot at. Yeah,
bingo.
yeah. There was in ACHR News. They had a profile of this HVAC teacher and. He would take a pea shooter, and if you weren't paying attention, he would shoot at you, which is why he required everyone to wear safety goggles. But, now you can't do that. That was quite a while ago. But you guys even have things for coil cleaning, indoor and outdoor coil.
Yes.
You got
We do.
tools for things like that, and even hand tools and sheet metal tools. You guys basically, if I'm an HVAC contractor and there's a tool in my truck that I need, you guys probably have it.
More than likely, yes.
Yeah.
And we actually have a new program where you can earn points on anything that you buy that's DiversiTech. So for any of the listeners out there that are currently buying DiversiTech, it's called Contractor Rewards. I think you can find the link on our website.
Yeah.
But it's just earning points for things you already buy. So I would definitely suggest checking it out because you can earn the points and redeem it for things like golf clubs, which I would never personally use, but for different fun things.
And I'm looking through your website. You actually have a section just for ductless.
Yes.
And there's I don't know, hundreds. There's so condensate management, electrical, equipment mounting. Geez, there's all kinds of stuff in there. Mini split stands, VRF stands, Easy Guard. Oh boy, this you can look up by different things. Applications. Wow. Condensate drains. You can look. Wow, you guys have many different ways to filter this through amperage, through materials. This is just,
Yeah.
I could be gone here for a long time, but there's a lot of stuff on here. So, and what is the website?
The website's DiversiTech.com.
Okay, that's easy, DiversiTech. Okay, so Marissa, before we came on, you were talking about indoor air quality.
Yes.
So tell us, what do you guys have along those lines?
Well, we do have something specifically for ductless applications. It's called our mini LED product, and it is for the ductless systems. It's not using a UVC technology. We used to have a UVC product, but we found that sometimes over time it could cause some discoloration of the plastics on the UVC, on the mini splits.
Yeah, that's been a problem in the past.
Yeah, so we actually changed it, and we're using, instead of UVC, we're using near visible spectrum, so around the 405 range. And it works a little bit differently than UVC. So instead of scrambling cell DNA to deactivate the microorganisms, we're actually kind of using it. The simple way to explain it is we're overstimulating or overfeeding the microorganisms to the point where their cell walls rupture and they can't reproduce. What really that the benefit is it's not going to cause any discoloration or brittleness in the plastics. It's also safe for eyes as well. So it's been a really popular product. We actually even had when we first kind of came out with the product and we were getting some of the kinks out, we had an installation that was installed and half of the lights went out. We've since obviously fixed any kind of issues and whatnot. But what was really cool about the feedback that we got is we got a picture from this installer and half of the mini split had mold growth on the blower wheel and half of it didn't. So we knew obviously that of course it was working, but it's designed to keep the blower wheel clean.
That's a violent way for a microorganism to die.
Yeah.
I mean,
They deserve it. I don't feel bad at all.
yeah, you definitely don't want that. Those things get disgusting. So it is designed to keep the blower wheel clean.
So other than stands, you have tools, you have condensate management, condensate pumps, safety switches, electrical and replacement parts, and the list goes on and on. Indoor air quality, we just talked about. Thermostats, you also have thermostats. So definitely for your listeners, check out DiversiTech.com. Marissa and Jim, thank you so much for being on the METUS Tech Show.
If somebody wants to get a hold of you, you guys okay with sharing emails?
Sure,
Sure.
absolutely.
So go ahead.
Mine is jkitchen, just like the room, at DiversiTech.com.
Mine is M Granados. That's MGRANADOS at DiversiTech.com.
All right. Thank you. Thank you both
Thank
for,
you guys.
for joining us.
you.
We appreciate
Yeah,
it.
enjoy it.
All right. So when are we going for tacos?
Couple hours.
That's right.
Yeah, you guys didn't eat here last night? Yeah. Did you eat here or did you go with did you go out?
No, we ate here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because the food here last night was really good.
Yeah.
Oh, the
no.
ribs? Or the short ribs?
The short ribs.
Yeah, it was not bad.
But now you got me thinking I might want to go there. What's this place called? Suerte?
Well, Suerte is closed tonight for a private event. I already checked. But there is a place that we're actually going. It's like 19 minutes away. It's southwest of here. So, I mean, if you guys want to go, you definitely can join us. I can show you the menu.
Well, technically, we're supposed to stay here.
Oh, right.
Because this is an event and we're
Oh, right.
actually-
That's what I meant. We're eating here, too. That's
We're on the
totally what I
clock.
meant.
I would love to wink, go with you, but I can't.
Yeah.
We'll have to stay here.
So the mics are still on. Don't forget.
Yes, that's right. Way to get us in trouble, Marissa.
They do have something called DoorDash.
Bingo.
It's 19 minutes away. That means with DoorDash, we'll wait 75 minutes.
It's fine. We got 2 people that can bring you home.
Yeah, okay. There we go. We got our own DoorDash. All right, thanks.
All right,
Thank
we'll see you
you.
on the next one.